Episode 1 opens with an elderly man named Edward speaking on the phone with his wife Gracie. He insists that the owl is in the wall. Before he can continue, attendants force him off the phone and back to bed inside a care facility. Edward insists he's not a child while the staff treat him like one. Later that night, Gracie lies in bed when a monstrous creature crashes through the darkness, killing her. The story shifts to Sam Cooper, a recently widowed former aerospace engineer from Chicago. Sam arrives at a retirement community called the Burrows with his daughter, son-in-law Neil, and grandchildren. The place markets itself as a cheerful paradise for seniors, complete with golf courses, fitness centers, and smiling employees. But Sam hates it. The slogan, "The best is yet to come," strikes him as ironic for a place where old people simply wait to die. The family tours Sam's new home while an employee named Kaylee explains how everything works. She introduces Seraphine, an AI assistant installed in every house, to monitor residents and connect them to services. Sam despises the idea of being watched and tears the device out of the wall. Sam never wanted to move there in the first place. It was his late wife Lily's idea before she died only months earlier. Although Sam's daughter tries to support him, he resents being treated like a helpless old man and feels trapped inside a community designed to manage people nearing the end of their lives. Even the golf cart his son-in-law bought him feels like a symbol of forced retirement rather than freedom. Once his family leaves, Sam is alone with his grief. He wanders through the empty house, surrounded by boxes of Lily's belongings and memories of their life together. A promotional video from the Boroughs plays on television, introducing the town's charismatic CEO, Blaine Shaw, who promises residents happiness, health, and community. Soon, Sam meets his first neighbor, Jack, an outgoing former weatherman who tries to befriend him. Jack rambles about golf, sleep apnea, women, and life inside the community. And like Sam, Jack has embraced the bizarre social culture of the Burrows. Though Sam tries to brush him off, Jack refuses to let him isolate himself and invites him to a barbecue with the neighbors. That night, Sam begins experiencing vivid memories of Lily. He imagines dancing with her in the kitchen as Bruce Springsteen plays, only for the memory to collapse into the horrifying reality of her death. The grief overwhelms him so completely that he can barely function. Sam drives around the community and begins noticing how strange the Burrows really is. The town feels artificial, almost disconnected from the outside world. Meanwhile, we meet several other residents like Renee, a sharp-tongued former doctor, Art and Judy, an eccentric married couple fascinated by conspiracy theories and UFOs, and Wally, a terminally ill man who hides his fear of death behind sarcasm. Renee becomes suspicious when pink quartz crystals disappear from her workplace. She believes someone stole them, but the local security staff blame forgetfulness due to old age. The exchange reveals how elderly residents constantly are infantilized and ignored even when they're right. Renee's car refuses to start. Sam helps her fix it. Then she bluntly calls him out for acting like a miserable old man. That night, Edward breaks into Sam's house wielding a knife. He demands to know where Grace is and insists there is something hidden inside the walls. Security finally arrives and drags Edward away, screaming. In the Boroughs, there is no real police department because the town technically is not an official municipality. Instead, security is handled internally by the company itself. Sam realizes the place operates almost like a self-contained corporate kingdom. Security Chief Hank takes Sam to meet Blaine Shaw at a facility called the Manor, where residents suffering from severe neurological diseases are housed. The manor looks staged, like a fake, cheerful town trapped inside a medical prison. Blaine greets Sam and apologizes for Edward's attack. He also reveals that he already knows Sam wanted to terminate his contract. Blaine explains that Edward suffers from a rare degenerative brain disease called Maxwell, which slowly destroys the mind. Edward lost his wife Grace and their son years ago, leaving him completely alone except for the manor. Blaine then presents Sam with an offer. He can leave the Burrows if he signs the papers and agrees not to involve the sheriff. Yet Blaine also manipulates him emotionally, pointing out that Sam has nowhere else to go and warning him that loneliness can be just as deadly as disease. Later, Sam finally attends Jack's barbecue and begins connecting with the other residents. For the first time since Lily's death, Sam laughs, shares stories, and feels a tiny sense of belonging. The group calls themselves the Grey Rebellion, bonding over aging, surgeries, health problems, and the humiliations of growing old. But then Judy begins choking, everyone panics, but Jack saves her. Afterwards, Sam breaks down. He admits that he hates how the world keeps moving after Lily's death. People still laugh, shop, eat, and live normal lives, while his own world has ended. Jack listens and explains that everyone in the Burrows came there trying to figure out what to do with whatever time they have left. For the first time, Sam begins reconsidering his decision to leave. Back at home, Sam calls Blaine Shaw and says he's changed his mind. He will stay at the Burrows after all. But late that night, alarms echo through Jack's house. Sam discovers Jack's front door hanging open. Then the monstrous creature from the opening attack suddenly lunges at him. The beast is fast, animalistic, and terrifying. Sam barely escapes alive, realizing the nightmare haunting the Burrows is very real. The episode closes with the horrifying implication that something monstrous is hunting residents inside the seemingly perfect retirement paradise, while the people running the town may already know far more than they admit.